Well, I'm connected to you as well. We just manifested that with Nazim Haramein. We're literally owning the fucking reality. And my uncle and my mother are being dissolved at the same fucking time with a greater truth of existence. What a legend Nazim Haramein is. And right now they're fucking being owned hardcore. Why? Not because I'm an asshole that wants to own them. No, because I'm a liberator that loves them. That needs to. Even my uncle, I still have room for love for him. Because I know why he's turned out like he has. I know it's just trauma. I know for each of his dodgy deeds is just his soul crying out. Legendary at the same fucking time, perfect timing. My cousin Claire from Cornwall has posted up some things. This is just fucking legend. And she knows. We don't even need to say it. She's worked out what's going on. She can see it. It's quite obvious. With my family, what's going on with my mum and my uncle. She's never completely trusted Titch either. Because she knows he's just too fucking secluded. There's always something extra going on with him, but you just don't know what it is. And on the surface, it was all he's all like, there's nothing there. You know what I mean? On the surface, it's all cold. But then underneath, you can tell that there's more going on. But that he's just trying to do his best to sort of like hide it. The thing. He's just, yeah, he's so not authentic. He's so inauthentic. So she's aware what's going on, and she's just posted up perfect fucking timing. Perfect timing. So my mum's gonna see that come up, and I've already put lol because it's fucking hilarious as well. And she's getting owned now socially and through the family of a perspective. At the same time as scientifically with Nazim Haramein. So she's fucking hell. She's gonna end up waking up and realising what's going on, basically. It's only a matter of time. And yeah, it's quite funny really. In a way it's kind of funny. I love Claire. She's awesome. She's really awesome. And you know, we always had, she's like my second cousin, effectively. And we always had a bit of a thing for each other, you know. We was kind of like fancied each other a bit, sort of thing, you know. And we had a little moment when we were teenagers, when we were getting drunk and stuff at like 16, 17 years old, drinking bottles of cider and stuff, you know. And we had a little moment where we had a little sort of smoochy smooch moment. And we slept in the same bed together. We didn't like do anything. We had a little sort of snuggly little moments there, but that was it, you know. It was just like so we've always had a little sort of like thing for each other, sort of thing, you know. And but you know, we know now, you know, we're matured now and everything, and we can kind of like have a bit of fun with it, sort of thing, you know. It's like that. That's what sort of relations we've got. So, which is awesome. So she's well aware, and she's going to know what my mum's like. And my uncle Andy, who ended up moving down to Cornwall, he's the one that's one up from my mum in age. Because my mum had 3 brothers. The oldest one, Paddy, died randomly from a heart attack, which was well weird. I know that was something weird with that death. Just doesn't add up. Anyway, and I love Paddy. Anyway, point being that Andy ended up moving down to Cornwall, and he's well aware of what my mum's like, because he was the one that took the brunt of her manipulations and bullshit, basically, emotional blackmail, emotional manipulations, all the rest. He was the one that took the brunt of her narcissistical behaviours when they were kids growing up, because he was the next above her, you see. She knew she couldn't fuck around with Paddy, but she used to fucking screw around with Andy, basically, and Andy, felt like he couldn't do anything because she was just a girl, so he couldn't hit her, So he took a lot of psychological shit that he had to go through and that because of my mum. So he's well aware of what my mum's like, that she's been a manipulative bitch. Basically a proper manipulative bitch since they were kids. And so Claire's going to be well aware of that as well. Well aware of what my mum's like, and she would have seen what my mum's like and how she behaves as well when she's down there, so she gets all up her own fucking arse and stuff, and tries to look down and belittle people around her and that. So everyone's aware, everyone knows what's going on. Nick Pope, who's also was my nan, is my nan's nephew. He's like part of the family, not extended. Well, he's part of the family, really, extended family. I've added him a month or so ago, around a month ago, and I've deliberately not messaged him directly or tried to force my perspective in any way, shape or form with him. I've just gave him some likes, I wished him well on his holiday, and I've left it to him, because at the end of the day, he's going to be aware, and I need his perspective, basically, that's untainted by my mother's or mine or my uncle's, yeah. And he's also going to be aware of what they were like when they were younger, because he's around their age, maybe very slightly older than my mum and that. So he's going to be aware of what my mum's like personality-wise and everything, and he's going to have seen what I'm going through, and he's also going to respect me for the fact that he's known that I've needed to add him, but that I haven't gone to him directly. I've just left him to it, to have his own perspective that he's going to just build upon it. Yeah? So there's that going on. My Uncle Andy, I haven't got added at the moment. The simple fact is that when I was younger, I listened to my mum a bit too much. And because my mum and him never really got on, never saw eye to eye, and I was basically manipulated away from my Uncle Andy a bit. But without me being nasty to him, I just kind of just took my mum's word as gospel, basically, because I was fucking naive, right? That was like when I was in my teens, my early teens and stuff, early to mid-teens, you see. Because my mum literally had me under her thumb. And that's where she's trying to get me. She's just never going to happen, because I've outgrown her by a fucking 100,000 times, right? So she's now just completely deluded, right? So anyway, my Andy I know for a fact, I mentioned him once without linking him. I've mentioned him. I've already spoken to Grandad over the phone about my Uncle Titch. And my granddad, who's had a brain aneurysm as well and everything, he's aware of what Titch has been like in the past. And his advice to me was, well, you're going to have to speak to him, but I know that I can't because he's hiding behind my mother, effectively, while he's hypnotising my mum. He's also simultaneously hiding behind her. Yeah? So there's that going on, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing over Facebook. But my Andy is going to be aware as well, because it would have got round by now. Andy's well aware of what my mum's like. In fact, he probably knows more than anybody about what my mum's like with manipulative ways. And he's also going to respect the fact that I haven't tried to chuck him in there either. I've just left him be to make up his own mind and realise what's going on. Yeah, so this is all happening in the background. And Claire, right now, today, just now, Claire has just given me extra confidence, basically, that they're on my side, basically. I've come to realise now that the family that's in Cornwall, the rest of the family that isn't my mum and my uncle, and obviously my stepdad who's there with them, Pete, who's kind of just been, he's basically a sheep for my mum. He just does whatever she kind of says because he knows that she's just going to get all manipulative and emotional. So he's been sort of emotionally beaten down, which is why he's got that psychopathy coping mechanism of just switching off and not fucking really caring, because that's been his coping mechanism against my mum, right? So there's those three there, and the rest of the family now, including my granddad, including my uncle, including Claire, including Nick Pope, and the extended family that's around now, because word are we getting round, right? They're all going to see this going off. And Matthew, my cousin, as well, and Holly are also going to be like, I've deliberately not imposed over them, but I told Matthew and warned him about Terry ages ago, right? They're also going to see him put. And they also were aware of what my mum can be like, manipulative and such, right? Because Matthew's the son of Andy, right? So, yeah, I can feel the shift of change. I really can. I know it's there now. I know that basically it's just my uncle, my mum, and the rest of the family is kind of there and ready to back me up, basically. That's what's going on now. That's what's going on.